Have you ever felt like everything is falling apart? Like no matter how hard you try, the pieces just won't fit back together? Maybe you're standing in the middle of your own storm, watching hopes fade and dreams shatter. And you wonder if anyone sees your struggle, if anyone cares, or if there is any light left at the end of this tunnel. That feeling of being completely alone, overwhelmed and powerless, it's heavy. It crushes your spirit and whispers lies that you aren't strong enough to keep going. But what if I told you there is a strength far greater than your own? There's something beyond your understanding, waiting to lift you out of the darkness. If you stay with this message, you will discover a truth that can change your life, something that can rebuild your shattered hope and restore your peace, even when the world says all is lost. You don't have to carry the weight of your problems alone. It's a lie that you must fix everything by yourself. When life's pain presses in, it's easy to believe that surrender means weakness. But real strength starts when you admit you cannot do it all on your own. This isn't about giving up. It's about handing over your worries to the one who has never failed, never slept, and never turned away. This trust, this deep, unshakable faith, is what moves mountains in your heart and brings calm to your restless mind. Pain often makes us blind to hope. It convinces us that we're stuck in a place with no escape and that things will never get better. But pain is not the enemy. It's a sign that something new is about to begin. Just like the darkest night's birth, the brightest stars, your hardest moments can become the foundation for a stronger, wiser you. The broken pieces of your life are not just fragments to hide or throw away. They are the raw material God uses to build something beautiful. Trusting in this process, even when you can't see the end, is where real transformation begins. When you feel broken, scared, and uncertain, it's normal to question if you can trust again. But trust doesn't mean having all the answers or seeing the whole path clearly. It means choosing to believe that something good is coming, even if today feels impossible. This kind of faith is like a seed planted deep inside your soul. It might be tiny, almost invisible at first, but with care and patience, it grows into a mighty tree that can withstand any storm. You don't have to understand everything now. What matters is that you keep holding on to hope. Sometimes the hardest part is waiting. Waiting when you feel forgotten, ignored, or left behind. The silence can feel deafening. But remember, waiting is not the same as stopping. It is the quiet work of shaping you into who you need to become. What feels like a delay might actually be the universe's way of preparing something far greater than you imagine. The pauses in your story aren't empty. They are filled with unseen growth, healing, and purpose. Trusting this unseen work requires patience, but it's what builds lasting strength. Life often feels like a puzzle with missing pieces. You strain to force parts to fit, hoping for control, hoping for clarity. But true peace comes when you stop trying to control the outcome and instead trust the one who sees the entire picture. God's plan is bigger than your pain and deeper than your troubles. What looks like a setback might be a setup for something amazing. Surrendering to this truth releases the burden of worry and opens your heart to unexpected blessings. There is a power working quietly behind the scenes, something that moves even when you can't see it. This power mends what is broken, heals what is hurting, and fixes what you thought was lost forever. It works not only in the world around you, but inside you, changing your heart and mind in ways that prepare you for a better tomorrow. Even if nothing around you changes today, this power is reshaping your story in ways you will come to understand soon. If you keep going through this video, you'll discover how to tap into that strength, how to build unshakable trust, and how to let go of the pain that weighs you down. You will learn how to turn your brokenness into a new beginning. And most importantly, you will find a reason to believe again that no matter how hard life gets, you are never truly alone, and your situation can be fixed in ways you never thought possible. Stay with this message, because the hope you've been waiting for is closer than you think. You might have spent so long trying to fix everything on your own that you forgot what it feels like to let go. The burden of trying to control every detail of your life is exhausting. Every day feels like a struggle to hold on, to make sense of the chaos. You wake up with heavy shoulders, carrying worries that seem too big for one person. You push yourself harder, thinking if you just try a little more, work a little longer, maybe things will change. But the harder you push, the more tangled life becomes. Sure. It's a trap many fall into, believing their own strength must be enough to conquer every challenge. But the truth is, your strength alone is not the answer. You were never meant to carry all the weight by yourself. There is a greater power ready to help, waiting for you to hand over what feels impossible. When you stop trying to control everything, something amazing happens. The pressure begins to lift. That heavy burden doesn't disappear overnight, but releasing it opens space for hope and peace. Trusting God means recognizing that He sees the whole picture, even when you cannot. He understands your pain, your fears, your struggles better than anyone. And instead of leaving you to battle alone, He invites you to rest, to hand over your worries and doubts. This kind of trust doesn't mean life suddenly becomes easy. It means you stop carrying the weight alone. You begin to walk through the storm with a steady hand guiding you, even if you don't know exactly where the path leads. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. Sometimes life feels like a mess that can never be fixed, but that mess is exactly where healing starts. It's in surrendering your need to control and trusting in God's plan that true freedom begins. It is hard to let go, especially when pain is fresh and the future looks unclear. But that letting go is the doorway to a peace that no struggle can shake. When you trust beyond what you see or feel, you tap into a power that mends the broken places inside you. The hardest part is often saying, I don't have to do this alone anymore. That simple truth can change everything. When life pushes you down and breaks you, it may feel like the end of your story. But in truth, those moments of pain are often the beginning of something greater. The hardest trials don't come to destroy you, they come to shape you. They teach you lessons you wouldn't learn any other way. The cracks in your heart, the wounds in your soul, are not signs of failure, but marks of transformation. They show where you have been broken so you can be rebuilt stronger than before. It's not about avoiding pain, but about trusting that through it, you are being prepared for a future full of hope. Pain has a way of making everything seem impossible. It clouds your vision and steals your peace, but it also creates space for growth, like a seed planted deep beneath the soil, unseen but full of life. Even when you feel crushed, buried by sorrow, there is a process happening inside you. Something is growing quietly, slowly, but surely. The struggles are not wasted. They are the foundation for a new strength that will rise up when you least expect it. This is the power of trusting beyond what you see. It's important to remember that healing doesn't happen all at once. It's a journey that takes time, patience, and faith. There will be moments when you doubt, when you want to give up, when the pain feels too much to bear. But those moments do not define you. They are simply steps along the path. Trusting God in your brokenness means believing that your story is not over, even when you can't see how it will end. It means believing that the pieces of your life that feel lost will be put back together in a way more beautiful than you imagined. This kind of trust is the key that unlocks hope and lights the way through the darkest nights. Trust is one of the hardest things to hold on to when life feels uncertain. When everything around you is shaking, it's natural to question if you can believe in anything or anyone. Doubt creeps in and fear whispers lies that tell you to give up. But true trust doesn't come from what you see or feel. It comes from a place deeper than understanding, deeper than certainty. It's a decision to surrender, even when the path ahead is unclear. Trust means saying, I don't have all the answers, but I believe this pain is not the end. It's a quiet strength that says, I will keep believing, even when hope feels distant. Trusting when you are hurting takes courage. It means facing your fears without turning away. It means letting go of control and placing your heart in hands bigger than your own. This kind of trust is not blind. It is a bold act of faith. It is the choice to believe that even if you cannot see the light, it is still there. You may feel broken, scared, or lost, but trust invites you to take one small step forward anyway. That step doesn't have to be perfect or sure. It just has to be taken, because every step of trust builds a bridge over the stormy waters. It connects your pain to a promise that something better is coming. The hardest part about trust is that it often requires waiting. Waiting when you want answers now, when you want relief immediately. Waiting can feel like silence, but it's not emptiness. It's the quiet space where your faith grows stronger. When you trust without seeing the full picture, you open yourself to a power far greater than your circumstances. You begin to understand that faith isn't about having everything figured out. It's about walking through the unknown with a heart that believes. This trust transforms fear into hope and despair into strength. It becomes the foundation on which your future is built. It's easy to mistake waiting forgotten. When silence stretches on, it feels like no one is listening, like your prayers vanish into the air with no answer. But waiting is not the same as being abandoned. In fact, it is often the space where the deepest work is done. When you feel stuck, it's because you're being shaped. Just as a seed must remain hidden underground before it can grow into a mighty tree, you too must endure seasons of quiet preparation. Delays don't mean denial. Sometimes the pause in your life is the very thing that prepares you for what's coming next. It's in these moments of waiting that your character is refined, your faith tested, and your spirit strengthened. You may not understand why things aren't happening on your timeline, but there is a purpose in the pause. The silence isn't empty. It's full of unseen movement. It's where growth happens that you cannot yet see with your eyes. Your pain is not wasted time. The tears you have shed, the nights you have spent feeling alone, all of it is shaping you for a future filled with hope. Trusting in this process means believing that what seems like delay is actually divine timing. The answer you long for is not gone. It's just not ready to be revealed. And sometimes waiting teaches you to lean not on your own strength, but on a power greater than yourself. Remember, what feels like a dead end now might be the very place where your breakthrough begins. In the quiet, in the waiting, God is working. He is shaping your heart, preparing your spirit, and setting the stage for a new beginning. Trust the process, even when it feels slow or invisible. Your story is not over. It's being rewritten in ways you cannot yet imagine. Hold on, because the waiting is part of the journey toward healing and restoration. One of the hardest things to accept is that you cannot control how your story will end. You try to plan every step to decide every outcome, hoping that if you just work hard enough, everything will go your way. But life rarely follows the plans we make. And the more you try to force things, the more you feel trapped in frustration and disappointment. True peace begins when you release the need to control what happens next. It starts when you trust that there is a bigger picture, one you cannot see yet, but that is unfolding perfectly for your good. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up. It means stepping into freedom. Freedom from the endless worry, the constant what-ifs, and the heavy burden of trying to fix everything alone. When you surrender your need to control the outcome, you open your heart to possibilities that you never imagined. Sometimes what feels like a loss is actually a redirection. Sometimes what looks like failure is the doorway to success. Trusting God's plan means believing that He sees beyond your struggles and is guiding you toward a future filled with hope. You don't have to understand everything now. You don't need to know the full story or see the ending. What matters is that you choose to trust the process. Life's twists and turns can be confusing and painful, but they are part of a journey designed to bring growth, healing, and new strength. When you let go of trying to force your own path, you make room for something greater to take shape. A plan far better than anything you could imagine on your own. Peace comes when you stop fighting against what you cannot change and start trusting the one who holds your future. This kind of trust frees you from fear and anxiety. It fills your heart with hope, knowing that no matter what happens, you are not alone. Your story is being written with purpose, and the path ahead is being prepared for your greatest blessings. Let go of the outcome and trust the process. You are in the hands of someone who never fails. There is a quiet power working behind the scenes of your life, even when you cannot see it. When everything around you seems broken or stuck, this power is still moving. It is fixing what you think is lost and healing what you believe is beyond repair. Sometimes the changes you need don't happen all at once or in the way you expect. Often, the greatest transformations take place quietly, deep within your heart and mind, long before they show up in your circumstances. You may feel like nothing is changing, like you are standing still while the world moves on. But that is not true. Even when the outside stays the same, inside you're being reshaped. Old wounds are healing. New strength is growing. Faith is being renewed. This is how real change happens. It begins in the invisible places that no one else sees. Trust that this quiet work is happening for you. The fixing you need is already underway, even if you don't feel it right now. Sometimes the greatest victories come after the longest waits. The answers you seek might not come in the way you expect, but they will come. The power that fixes your situation is patient and persistent and persistent. It doesn't rush or give up. It works steadily, weaving together the broken parts of your life into something whole again. You may not understand how or when this will happen, but you can believe it is happening. That belief will keep your heart alive and your spirit strong, no matter how dark the night seems. Hold on to the truth that you are not alone in your struggle. The power that fixes what you cannot see is already at work. It is moving behind the scenes, changing your story, and preparing a future filled with hope. Trust that even when things look impossible, healing and restoration are coming. Your situation is not final. It is just part of the journey towards something greater than you ever imagined. No matter how dark your night feels right now, no matter how heavy your heart, do not give up. The struggles you face are not the end of your story. There is a force greater than any problem, stronger than any challenge, already working to turn things around for you. Your situation may seem impossible to fix, but it is not beyond repair. Healing is already on its way, even if you cannot see it yet. Keep moving forward even when every step feels difficult. Each small act of faith, every moment you choose hope over fear, brings you closer to the breakthrough you need. Remember, the greatest victories often come after the toughest battles. When you feel like you have nothing left to give, that is when the unseen power steps in to fill the gaps, to carry you when you cannot carry yourself. You are not alone in this journey. There is a quiet strength surrounding you, lifting you, guiding you through the storm. Trust that this strength is real, and that it is working even now. Your pain, your struggles, and your tears are not wasted. They are the soil where new life takes root. The challenges you face are preparing you for a future filled with hope and restoration. Hold tightly to faith, even when it feels hard. Trust that the story you are living now is being rewritten into one of victory and joy. You are not broken beyond repair. You are being made whole. The next chapter of your life is waiting, filled with peace, purpose, and blessings beyond what you can imagine. Keep trusting, keep believing, because God is not done with you yet.